that what wants to be happy has to be in that moment unhappy. I mean, that's our foregone conclusion from the mind. You have to be one or the other, you see. We have a middle state, it's called average, neither happy nor not happy. But we, for some reason, the thoughts of being in between get restless, or sometimes unrestless, and they either try and keep this middle state, or they immediately try to eradicate it. So the thought says, I want to be happy, meaning I'm unhappy. And when the thought transpires into a bout of happiness, another thought comes after a short period of time to say, why is no one else happy? You see, I'm guilty about being happy because there are so many people in this world who are experiencing very unhappy situations. So I have to get out of this happiness. The ego wants to keep happiness, but it also wants to keep unhappiness. So what is it about? What's going on? You see, when there is neither happiness or non-happiness, and you're in that in-between state, it means the mind in that state is inactive. It's unmoving. It hasn't thought or considered what state it is in. I mean, the human species, we call it boredom, because I'm okay, I'm not unhappy, but the boredom is leading to a kind of thinking, if I stay like this, I'll verge into the unhappy mode. So the mind is always pulsating like that machine in the hospital when you're in a surgical procedure. Put-tum, put-tum, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Doesn't like flat line, you see. And that's the idea, you see, that's the reason that the mind, the thinking mind, keeps operating. It's fearsome of its own death. And of course, we don't want the mind and the thoughts to completely die. We just want them to succumb, especially the ones that say, I want to keep my happiness forever and ever. I don't want to share it, but I feel guilty about it. And I don't want to remain unhappy forever. So I'm quite happy, even when I'm unhappy, to fluctuate from happiness to unhappiness. So the thinking mind has a purpose, just to keep itself active. Because at no point are we talking about the body and the you. We're talking about the mind. The body doesn't know what happiness is. The body doesn't know what unhappiness is in the way that the mind portrays it or perceives it or wants to project it as. When the nervous system within the body is tingling with sensational love and joy, the body is experiencing what the mind calls happiness. And when the body is in pain, writhing because of some illness or some accident or some, unnatural state of the body, the body experiences what the mind calls unhappiness through pain. So the body knows when it's happy and not happy. The body doesn't need to be told when it's happy or unhappy by that brain, by that mind. So what's happening in today's world? Only through experience can the speaker say that the thoughts, the mind, the thinking mind for myself, was succumbed by what we call a deep and aware consciousness. You say, it's not going well, is it? You may be thinking so many things, so many ways, but you're not balanced. You're fluctuating, is going. A great example is our blood pressure. Our blood pressure, it can rise and rise, or it can fall and fall. And that's the state of the thinking mind also. It can rise and rise and fall and fall. So the consciousness says, no, you need to get yourself together. Get your act together. The mind never acts. The mind just, is the director of acting. The body only follows what the mind says. Doesn't particularly like or dislike what the mind is doing to it. But the mind is so superior. The thinker becomes so predominant, so controlling, that the body has no say. And that's when the consciousness succumbs the mind and says, look, this body is the real and only reason that it's here, that God is here. This is a projection of pure, undiluted nature, spirituality, religion, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. The body is a replica, a mirror from that true mirror that I is. You can call God, a word. You can call Atman a word, an Atman. You can call an absolute a word, an absolute. You can call a spirit, a word. But until you know what these words are representing, your mind will go on thinking, go on pulsating, in a natural way, which is absolutely necessary. But it can also go on pulsating and thinking for things that it cannot touch. Because in that awakening, it's the death of the mind and the life of that mirror is revealed. That's why Rumi says, I opened the door and I was looking from the inside, or the door opened and I was on the inside. Because there's only a mirror, there's no door. Everything is a replication of truth. When the mirror, that minuscule mirror mind, doesn't like what it sees, it tries to get the duster out and the liquid out to clean it up. And sometimes it makes much more worse. because it's rubbing the wrong way. It's using the wrong liquid. That's why consciousness intervenes. So in today's world, that's what's taking place. So many rabid minds, so many needful and desiring minds, so many wanting more minds. Wanting doesn't have to be greed. Wanting can be the opposite. Too many opposing values in your mind is a natural call for consciousness to intervene. So you can look at it religiously, you can look at it spiritually, you can look at it consciously, you can look at it humanly, beingly, lovingly. You can look at it any way you like. But in this existence, there is complete balance. Complete balance means anything that's transcending can transcend with no happiness or unhappiness. And you say, well, I don't want to be boring. But this boredom is the gateway to the mirror. Not a door, just a cleansing. Because in the boredom, in the middle, in the in-between state, if it remains untouched, the mind, the thinking, the past, the future, the wanting, the desiring, the needing, the changing mind, if it remains untouched for a period of time, something cleans the mirror by itself. So be patient. Be thoughtful. But don't take these thoughts as the only route to the root of yourself. The root of yourself is connected to that mirror, that wonderful grand God, Atman, Absolute, Spirit. And the outcome will not depend on what the outcome says. The outcome will depend on how your existing mind accepts it, takes it, teaches it, shares it, keeps it to itself, whatever. And you'll still be yourself, the one that is always here.